Listen to some of the most powerful words ever written. They are the words which drive one of the world's most venerable and also fastest growing religions. Echoed over 1400 years by billions of voices. They are the words of Islam's holy book, the Quran.
Muslims believe that the Quran is something that was revealed by God directly to the Prophet of Islam.
It's not merely what God inspired his prophet to say, or say a history of some important event. It is actually God's own message to the world.
Quran translates from Arabic as the recitation. The words are intended to be spoken aloud. In doing so, Muslims believe they communicate directly with God.
The Quran, in preserving God's speech, becomes essentially a part of God. And as such, the text itself, the physical words, the pages, and the book itself has this intrinsic sanctity, this intrinsic holiness to it.
Leafing through the text, one can instantly see similarities between the Quran and Jewish and Christian scripture. Each speaks of one eternal and omnipotent deity, and they each tell some of the same stories. But the Quran is also a book immersed in mystery. Its verses, considered to be some of the most beautiful Arabic ever written, are a labyrinth of language, more poetry than prose. And its layout defies easy understanding. Unlike the Bible, the Quran doesn't follow a chronological narrative. Its 114 chapters, or surahs, are organized mostly according to length, with the longest at the beginning and the shortest at the end.
There's this almost what we would describe in modern times as a kind of stream of consciousness style to it. There's a kind of mysteriousness. The curious reader in reading the text just is left wondering.
It doesn't tell, for example, the history of Muhammad. It doesn't even tell the history of the world. There is reference to the beginning of the world, to God's creation, but you won't find it in the beginning of the Quran. You'll find it somewhere in the middle.
Muslims don't regard the Quran as a story or a history. They believe it to be God's message to his created people and his guide to steer adherents along the right path.
It's a rule book about how to live one's life, about how to define one's morality, how to experience the world.